And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a game called Hunted Kobayashi Tower. In this game, you are about to deliver some presents to your wife, and you find she's in this tower of corporate headquarters, and some terrorists have taken over this tower. You need to fight off these terrorists, get to the roof, fight the main bad guy, and free your wife. Does that sound familiar? It's deliberately meant to do so. This is a solo game. It actually is 1 to 2 players, but it's essentially a solo game in which you play your way through. So I played my way through this quite a few times. Let's take a look. In this game, your goal is to get to the roof, fight the main villain, and get off. The roof card is going to be in the bottom cards of this location deck, so you have to go through most of the locations to get here. And if you defeat Lars here on the roof, then you'll win the game. So players are going to start with 20 time and 6 health. And by the way, I'm talking here about a solo game. There's a way to kind of split it between 2 different players, but it plays fairly similarly to the solo game. You have a box of chocolates, which you can discard to re-roll any number of dice you just rolled. You have a handgun that has 3 ammo, 4 dice, but each die costs 1 ammo, so that's in case you find more ammo. In each turn of the game, you have 2 options. One is to draw the top card of the hunted deck. So I'll turn this over. Oh, this is an exclamation point I need to deal with immediately. Test, succeed, and a gain of time, fail, and fight a terrorist. All right, well, right now my health is at 6. I roll 2 dice. I need a 5 or higher. I got one. Good. So I've succeeded, and I gain a time. Well, I have 20 time. That's what I started with, so that doesn't do anything. All right, let's draw another card. So we draw a card, and here we have ammo. So each of these cards is going to do different things. This ammo would give me another piece of ammo for my gun. But to activate this card, I'm going to need a foot to activate it. No, I'm sorry, I'm going to need a magnifying glass to activate it. This card gives me a foot, so I could use this to activate another card, or I could use another card to activate this. Well, that hasn't happened yet. I'll draw another card. A hallway does give me a magnifying glass, so I could use the hallway to find the ammo. Or I could use the ammo to activate the hallway. Oh, I need 2 feet for that, so that's not worth it yet. I don't think I need the ammo. I'll turn over another card. A door. Ooh, a door needs a key. I don't have a key, but it does give me the shoe, so I now have 2 shoes. I'll discard both of these to activate the hallway. Now what the hallway does is it lets me draw the top card of the location deck. Remember, I'm trying to go through this whole deck as fast as possible. So I turn this over, and I found the bathroom. The bathroom says I may lose 1 time to gain a regroup token. Well, that seems good, so I'll do that. I'll lose 1 time, take a regroup token. This lets me add 2 to a die roll later on. I draw the next card. Eek! It's a terrorist. Now, terrorist isn't too bad. I don't have to fight this terrorist. I only have to fight a terrorist if 2 of them show up in the line, or if there are 2 bells at the top of a line and I draw a terrorist. So you know what? I don't really want to fight a terrorist right now, so I'm going to hide from the terrorist. That costs me a time, and when you hide, you discard all the cards in the row. All right, next card. Test. If you succeed, get a key token. Ooh. Let's try to get that. I need a 5. I got a 5, so that gives me a key token. Nice. I can use that to go through doors later on. Next one. Test. If you fail, take a damage and discard a hostage. I don't have any hostages. Oh, I did fail. Taking a damage. I'll take a damage for now. It's not that big of a deal. Next card. Oh, 2 terrorists. Now, let me explain how terrorists are fought in case you do have to fight them. When you fight terrorists, you can use whatever gun you have. You start with a handgun. If you run out of ammo for your handgun, you use your bare hands, which lets you only roll 1 die. For handgun, for each ammo you use, you get to roll a die, and you're trying to match the numbers on here. Each number you match, you need to get that number or higher. You can get rid of the terrorist card. If you don't get rid of the terrorist card, each time that you fire a weapon, you lose 1 time, and each time you don't kill a terrorist in a turn, they do 1 health to you. You lose all your health, you die. You run out of time, you lose. So I'll leave that there. That seems a little dangerous, but we'll draw another card. Test, if you succeed, gain 2 time. All right, I'll try that. I did not. If you fail, lose 1 time. Well, that's no good. Next card. Alrighty, discard this to draw 3 cards. That's if I get the radio, but I didn't get the radio yet. Here's a door. Ooh, the door has a key. So I can now use this key token to open this door, which lets me draw 2 locations. A hotel room and a surveillance room. Now, I don't want to get into the game much more than that. I'm not playing through the whole game, but that's kind of how the game works. You have to decide what to use and when. Terrorists are going to show up. Hopefully, you won't have to fight them. You're trying to get through different locations, go through the deck as fast as you can, and when you get to the end, you have to fight Lars. You'll notice he needs a 4 or 5 and a 6 or higher. There are other weapons that you can find, which will let you roll other better dice. Of course, you may end up using those on other terrorists. There are hostages that you can find in the deck. Oh, here's a machine gun. This lets me roll 8-sided dice when I shoot it. There are hostages like Ellen here that you can rescue here, but hostages will go after her first if possible. They'll go after any hostages that you pick up. And so a lot of the cards in the deck are kind of very similar things. And there's ambushes and terrorists all over the place, but there's also grenades. So that's how you play. So the game is mostly just cards, dice, and counters, and the color blue. I mean, everything's blue. The cards are blue. The shading's blue. I guess it's better than black and white, but I don't know. I would have preferred a little bit more color, but I mean, it's blue, 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 blue. It's definitely Die Hard, right? You are who? Juan McSpain? Whatever it is, the terrorists look the same, the weapons, the hallways, I mean, come on now. That's fine. It's like a tribute to that game. But that's what it is. It's in Kobayashi Tower. The theme is there. It's obviously a pretty strong theme, or else I think the game would fall apart. It fits in a small box and everything, so the components are fine. I'm not really upset with them. I'm a little tired of the color blue at this point. Okay, so Hunted is a solo game. I'm not the best solo gamer, but I do like solo games, especially when they tell a story. I played this game quite a few times. I have yet to win it, although I've gotten to the roof and just been killed by the main bad guy. The game has some interesting concepts. You saw that you use different cards, so I sit there and say, this is a door card. A key gives me 2 locations. 2 locations is pretty rocking, but I don't have a key token. So do I want to use these cards to activate this and finding different weapons? I want to use these to get that weapon. I want to use these to rescue this hostage. All the while with a push your luck aspect of when the different terrorists are going to show up. That's all really cool. Different events happen, has a strong storyline to it. But I just can't get over the randomness. Not once having played this, I've had good games and bad games. Like I said, I lost all of them, but I got close to the end. But the good games, the bad games, it was never my choices. It was always, wow, this first game I got extra time. Used the game I was just showing you at the beginning of. That was a pretty decent game. That's because I deleted the overview part where I got massacred like on turn card 1. And then, so I reshuffled the deck and did it again. It can be just dreadful. You can turn over a card, do this, roll the dice, roll poorly, use up all your ammunition, terrorists get you, and you're like, well, I guess I'll start again. Now, that's not awful. It's 20 minutes. But I never felt like my choices were real. It feels like a silly push-your-luck game with a kind of serious, cool theme in it. But I never felt like, oh, should I use the grenade on these terrorists? I don't know. Maybe. Because I don't know what the next card's going to be. And without knowing what these next cards are going to be, and you can't calculate the whole deck, you're just wildly guessing the whole time. Like, oh, push my luck. Hey, it worked. Oh, no. I turned over 2 terrorists in a row. Now I got to fight these guys. And I rolled so poorly fighting them, I finally managed to defeat them, but they took me down to 1 health. Well, I might as well restart the game at that point. I wanted to like this more. The ideas are cool. The concepts are cool. But it just felt like a big luck fest with some rules. I have to say, I looked up the rules. The rule book's kind of clear, but I was really... It just felt like the flow of how the game worked. I went online and looked stuff up and finally got it. I had a lot of questions about the game. Found those. Most of them were in the rule book, but in spots I didn't expect them. Like when you defeat a terrorist, you get a reward. but it wasn't clear how that reward was given and stuff. And so I was constantly jumping around. It didn't feel like I should have to look in the rules that much for such a small game. So I don't know that I really am recommending this one. I'm sure there's people out there, I mean, if you like Die Hard, probably it's worth getting just for that reason. It is a solo game. You can play it by yourself or with one other person, and it's pretty fast once you get everything going. And I love the idea of pressing your luck. I think that's a fun mechanism. It's just that the luck part here was just too high for me to want to keep checking it out. If I was John McClane, the terrorist would have won every single time. It would have been a much more boring movie. And that's kind of where I'm putting the game at this point a little bit too. So that's Hunt It. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Dice Tower Judgment. I like the game, just too random.